Weakness to warrior mindset. That's stupid too. That's stupid too. You have to watch that too. But today's topic is being lean versus being bulky. Let's go with being bulky. So being bulky is easy to obtain. Why is it easy to obtain? Because all you have to do is just eat a bunch of food. That's it. You got to eat above your maintenance calories, obviously in probably like 1,000 calorie surplus. So you're going to have the fuel to be able to build the muscle. Now, mind you, that building the muscle only happens when you're getting to sleep. You're breaking down the muscle while you're at the gym. So while you're sleeping, it's repairing and growing bigger. But being bulky makes you look blocky. It kind of makes you look sloppy. It just makes you look like a big old mess. Like you kind of know what you're doing in the gym, but you don't really know what you're doing in the gym. I mean, you've gained a lot of muscle. Great. But you don't have that shoulder width to waist hip ratio where you got that V taper. Basically, you're just like looking like this. Pretty much like a big old sack of potatoes or oatmeal. Yeah, you got broad shoulders and big arms, but you also got that gut. And that's the thing that separates, getting the attention from men and getting the attention from women. When you're big and bulky, tell me you don't get a lot of attention from dudes like, hey, dude, you're looking great and shit like that. Like if you're getting attention from dudes, like, hey, you might roll that way, you might swing that way, but whatever. I mean, you got to have that in your mindset that you're basically going into the gym for dudes to give you compliments and attention from dudes versus from women. Women kind of find you scary and like disproportionate. Yeah, you may have a lot of strength and you're big, but that's not what catches a woman's eye. That lean aesthetic figure catches a woman's eye. Yeah, you're strong as hell, but even in nice clothes, you don't look that well. Now, versus being lean, you still have the mass and the size to a point, but you got that V taper. You got that shoulder to hip waist ratio where your shoulders are wider than your midsection, which is appealing to women because one, it shows that you know what you're doing in the gym, that you have self-control, that you take care of yourself, that you respect yourself, that you are, limiting your calories in such a world where overconsumption is like the norm. It sets you apart from the dudes that just go into the freaking gym and just, look like they live in the gym. Versus you just look like you know what you're doing. You got your shit together. You got that six-pack abs, which women enjoy. I mean, a lot of it's superficial. There's much more that women want, but that's what gets you in your door. That's what gets you the compliments from the women. And that's what you should be striving for. You should be obviously striving to get, better as a person and the best version of yourself. But the compliments and the attention from women is an add-on. you also start to get people to asking questions about, how did you get that physique? Can you give me any pointers? I mean, what do you do? What do you eat? Da, 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 down the line. Obviously, you're going to get some people that think like, no way you're looking this way just by eating clean and doing your 10,000 steps and hitting the gym regularly. And it's really that simple. It's more simple than you think. It's just you got to put in the dedication, the discipline, and you got to have faith. I'm going to keep hammering this home every time I say this video, that the end result, you haven't reached your end result yet. You're working towards something you haven't gotten yet. But once you get there, once you get lean, that's all you need to do is get lean once. Because the path to getting lean, you've walked that path for 3, 4, maybe 5 months, 6 months, depending on your body fat percentage. And those habits are already well ingrained. And when you start to see your abs and you start to see the striations and stuff in your arms and the veins, and that one little, definition right here at your hips, the I call the make the women go goo goo. Look, that define right at your freaking love handles where that crease goes down into your pelvis. Yeah, that's the ones that make women drool. But back on the note, it's easier to obtain it and maintain it, because once you start to see your abs, you're going to want to stay like that forever. The hard work that you've put into. Basically, the hard work is just eating the same shit day after day after day after day, eating the same calories day after day after day, walking your 10 to 15,000 steps day after day after day, hitting the gym 4 times a week, every single time. It gets monotonous, it gets boring, it gets tedious, but you're putting the discipline. That's where the hard work comes in. The harder work comes in after you get to that point, because now you have to maintain it, which means you have to continue on that path where you're eating the same foods. It's a lifestyle now. It's not just, a fad diet where you can do it and then just stop, because you're just going to gain all the weight back plus more. That's usually what happens. The dudes get to where they want, and then they take their foot off the gas, and a month and a half later, they've gained back most of the weight. So the hard work comes after you get lean. I thought it would be difficult, but honestly, since I've been through this journey since on November, it's been relatively easy. It's just been, tweaking stuff here and there and getting things down. Mosquito. Getting things down here and there, and just like, okay, I need to take away this many carbs. I need to restructure my meal plan, because hey, this is a little bit easier. I can maintain, so many grams of chicken, so many grams of rice, so many grams of sweet potatoes, and so many grams of broccoli and eggs. I mean, it's easier versus going in and trying to have a different meal each day or each week, because then it gets monotonous, and then you have to weigh out everything. I mean, and it's fine. You can do that. You can switch out the proteins, as I said in other videos before. You can just switch out the proteins. The only anomaly is shrimp. That would just be 200 grams. Everything else is pretty much the same, 170 grams. And then all you have to do is mini cuts. So a mini cut is basically, you're at maintenance goal, and then for 4 to 6 weeks, you aggressively rip your calories down to your leaning phase. So whatever it was, mine's like 2,000-ish. So all I would need to do is just drop from my maintenance calories down to that to 4 to 6 weeks. Increase my steps up to 15,000 for 4 to 6 weeks. Bam. 2 to 3 pounds off, maybe 4 pounds. Bam. And then go back into that reverse diet. Just small little mini cuts like that helps you get into that 10% and maintain that 10%, 11% body fat. It's relatively easy. So the question I pose to you is, do you want attention from men or do you want attention from women? Bulky versus lean and aesthetic that make women drool. Weakness to warrior mindset.